Hi there, my name is John Stevens, pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we are part of the ELCA. Welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where I take a look at the lectionary text and we tie them to an item from the Dollar Tree or the junk drawer, the kids' room, or the garage, maybe all four when we're being wild. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for spending a little bit of your week with me in this way, and thank you for the love that you're sharing with your families and your kids and your congregations. You are rocking it. Thank you. This is for the 17th. I almost jumped it. 17th Sunday after Pentecost. And no, 18th Sunday after Pentecost. I got my notes here and I see I have a typo already. So anyway, 18th Sunday after Pentecost. We're here. And we're looking at change. We're looking at change. That's the springboard, because the gospel is all about change. People saying no, no, and they change to yes, yes, and people saying yes, yes, and they don't do it, and they change to no, no. And how change is hard. Making that change is hard. And so we need help. We cannot do it by ourselves. We have God that directs and walks with us. So the two springboards I am using, where did I put this? Oh, 1 second. I had this here yesterday and then I moved it. This is the springboard kind of off to the side, where it's not the main one that I'm looking at, but it works. And this is, I've used these before, a traffic cone. A traffic cone, or as my brother would say, because he civil engineer, works for companies that design and build roads, and he's the engineer on the back, but safety cones. These tell you the direction that you go when you need to change direction or you need to follow something. So safety cone. So I talk about that. And this is all about showing us where we need to change. I mean, you could get a sign that says, I don't know, traffic revision ahead, but those are kind of they're harder to come by. So safety cone might work in that direction. My main springboard, and the reason I'm using this is that pre-COVID we did this, and then we are reintroducing it because we're back into worship, as most of us are, all of us are back in person. And we had at the beginning of the month, we have a community giving partner. So every month we have a community giving partner where we take it's not necessarily a special offering, but someone can designate amount to there. But pre-COVID, at the very beginning of the month, in the kids' sermon, I would introduce the community giving partner, and we would do a noisy offering, and that was using change. Using change, yes. Can I get some change? And so the idea is talking about change, and about how, one of the things that we hear many times is, do you have some change? And not even, I say that and knowing that for some folks that you could get into a larger conversation about how we help the houseless, how we help those who, all of that opens up. But this here, it's, I've got a change jar and I put this in, and so the idea, well, some families, they have the swear jar. This is not my swear jar. No, not at all. But the idea is that, you put change in there, and the idea is that it's, well, to help you recognize the need for change, or the change here, and then about how when we are called to change, how difficult that can be, and talking about how we can't ultimately do that without God's help, that God directs, God moves, and then how, when we do our noisy offering, or you can talk about, even if you're not doing a noisy offering, which I assume many of you are not, but you can talk about with this change, what kind of change can take place. How can we use that? Perhaps we're putting this in here. It's our piggy bank, and we put the change in the piggy bank, and we say, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to use this change for this. I'm going to use this change. This will be my offering. This is how I'll help the things we do. How if we support a food soup kitchen, a feeding program, I'll do that. And you put it in there, and you get all the things, and you get it full, and you're like, but oh, there's the new video game, or there's that new that stuffed animal I was looking at, and we're moved into that. Which direction do we change? Do we say no, no, or do we say yes, yes? And ultimately, the grace of all of this is that we have a God that says yes, yes to us, and that is the ultimate direction. And then we are called then to use what God has given us and entrusted to us. And so anyway, that's the direction I'm going, using change to talk about change and talk about the gospel lesson that is about change and about how there are different directions that we can go when we can change. There we are. I'm hoping the springboard is useful for your own thinking. These also can be used as a hat, just so you know. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you for your partnership in this ministry. Thank you again for the love that you're sharing with your families and your kids and your congregations. You are rocking it. All right. I will see you next week. Peace.